Commanders fans, that was probably the worst way to lose a football game. We went into a place where we were 8-point underdogs, and we were winning the majority of the game. Kind of felt like the game where we were up by 14-0 or 17-0 a couple years ago in Philly, and then we let them come back. But I'll talk about some things real quick before I get started. Just a gut punch, but the guys fought hard, man. For Sam Howell to bounce back after he threw 4 picks last week, he looked awful last week. He looked like a legitimate starting quarterback. That drive, the pass to Jahan Dotson with 1 second left, the pass to Byron Pringle on that third down, the pass to De'Ami Brown, a couple passes to Terry McLaurin in the game, the 3rd and 4 to Curtis Samuel where he evades the rush. The drive before that where he ended up getting sacked, he ran for 21 yards. So with the offensive line, Andrew Wiley was getting cooked. Lano getting cooked. This guy made play after play after play. Houdini play, ducking his head under, evading the rush, making throws downfield. So I love what Sam Howell did today. Made a nice pass to Logan Thomas in the first half. Made some big play after big play after big play. But for that drive to be down 31-24 with what, a minute and 30 seconds left, something like that, that was a big boy play. And he stepped up after that awful game that I saw in person against the Bills. I gotta tip my cap to Sam Howell. Bieniemy did a better job today. We can complain about the refs. Lander Dickerson had a false start on the tush push, on the illegal tush push. There was a false start they didn't call. Now we did get away with there were some things that we did get away with. Now the Terrell Edmonds where he pushed Sam Howell out of bounds, they called a personal foul on that. We got 15 yards. That was a debatable call. Slay did hold Terry McLaurin. I saw a lot of people complaining about that. That was on like 2nd or 3rd down. He did hold Terry McLaurin. Slay can't guard Terry McLaurin. He can't check him. He just can't. But am I mad at Ron for not going for 2? I agree with him not going for 2 because we wouldn't have gotten it. It just is what it is. Look at the Giants last year where we got cheated. The guy bear hugged Curtis Samuel. That probably would have happened. Or against the Giants, we didn't get it. When do we ever convert on 2-point conversion when we really need them? So I'm not mad at him for not going for it on a 2-point conversion. I would not have gone for it either. I would have went into OT. Let's talk about the Terry McLaurin catch. So he stepped on Reed Blankenship's arm. Reed Blankenship got away with a hold on De'Ami Brown as well. And then we got sacked on the next play. That was in the first half. Now, he steps on Reed Blankenship's arm, and his toe still really gets in bounds. It still really gets in bounds. So, personally, I thought it was a catch. I had a feeling they were not going to call it a catch, but he stepped on Blankenship's arm. I guess if somebody's arm or body is on the floor, you still have to find a way to toe touch the field and the grass after you step on somebody's hand or arm. So, that's just how the rule goes. So it's a tough beat on that one. And then Del Rio, you keep Forbes out there on A.J. Brown when he's getting cooked and torched every single play. Every single play. Now, Forbes did bounce back. He got 2 stops in a row. But when we really needed it, he was getting cooked. And the fact that Kendall Fuller has been playing really good football, you have Ben St. Juste who's been playing good football, you don't make the adjustment and switch and make sure that Fuller is on A.J. Brown, or you make sure Ben St. Juste, is on A.J. Brown, you don't make that adjustment. And then it's 3rd and 17. You play soft, which I get. You don't want to give it the big play, but you give up just enough for them to get in field goal range and Jake Elliott to knock down a 54-yarder, which we know Jake Elliott can make 60. He's made, a 63-yarder before? We knew it was good. When he got to the 50, when they made that pass to Devontae Smith, it was automatic. It was automatic. We knew it was going to go in. The defense... and Jamin Davis gave up a 3rd and 11 to DeAndre, or 2nd and 11. He gave a 2nd and 11 to DeAndre Swift. He went around him. Cody Barton as well. We force a fumble. He doesn't pick up the fumble. He just doesn't have the presence of mind. He starts celebrating. So, we made some mental mistakes. It certainly was on us. Del Rio, I think he was a dud for sure for just playing so soft on coverage and not making adjustments. You got to make the adjustments. You got to either take Forbes out of the game or put him on somebody else. It's simple as that. When A.J. Brown ended up with 172 yards, 175 yards receiving. So, but we had many opportunities to win this game. But we just threw it away. We threw it away. So, I'm gonna look at my notes here. And then wrap this up. But I certainly saw some good things, man. Jahan Dotson, he bounced back because he had a big drop. He bounced back, made a big catch. He hurt his ankle, came back in the game, made a big catch at the end of the game. Sam Howell, 29 for 41, 290 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I mean, no picks at all. So to go from 4 picks to no picks at all, that was big on him, big for him. Bieniemy did a better job play calling this game. We weren't able to really run the ball, but we did a good job stopping the run. Like Jalen Hurts, he had that one big run. James Smith-Williams missed him. He had him for a tackle, and he missed the tackle. Jalen Hurts ran up for the first down. So that was the only really big play for Jalen Hurts, that 24-yard run. Other than that, we did a good job. Like Ben St. Juice did a good job stopping him on one play. It was a lot of open field, open grass. Ben St. Juice did a good job. So they were disciplined on the runs. The outside zone runs, the zone reads, they did a good job of that. Him scrambling. They didn't let him really make any big plays with his legs, except for that 1 yard, for that 24-yard run. Because he ran for 34 yards today, and the majority of the yards on his run was that 24-yard run. DeAndre Swift, I thought they did a decent job on him, only giving up 56 yards. I thought we did a good job controlling some of the clock. Time of possession. Where is that at? Time of possession, looking for that number. I thought we did a better job with time of possession, just kind of playing keep away. We won the time of possession 35-30. I thought we did a good job of that. But the offensive line, man, Wiley one, he gives us a sack. Then he gets a false start. That hurt us really bad. So just many times, like Ron Rivera, just the Ron Rivera, the GM, that was Eric Bieniemy signing Andrew Wiley. So he's just been a disappointing signing. Tressway was bad today. He was really bad. Tressway was bad. That punt, it looked like every time it did look like it was about to get blocked, but he still was bad. He kept punting to number 18. Number 18 was running for like 5 yards to get up to the 45. Like the punts were landing basically at the Eagles' 40. So they were getting the ball right where they needed it. Right basically almost on our territory every single time. So this was probably the worst game I've ever seen from Tressway I've ever seen in his career. And then Jameis Crowder did a little fake punt, fake fair catch or whatever. He had a Shaq in a full moment right there. So that was disappointing. So I'm gonna look at my notes real quick and then wrap it up. So Terry McLaurin had a couple nice catches. Slay can't guard him. B-Rob got the 4th and 1. Curtis Samuel with the touchdown run, the reverse run. That was a good play. Eric Bieniemy, he was in his bag on that first drive. He was in his bag. Ben St. Juice had a face mask. He did have Jack Del Rio had Chase Young dropping a coverage. That wasn't good. Chase Young got a sack, so he did make an impact play. But the rush, their O-line was getting the best of our rush because Jalen Hurts got a lot of time in the pocket. He did. He got a lot of time in the pocket to throw the ball to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Had a nice pass to Goddard as well. Logan Thomas made a tough catch on Prize Picks. I had 2.5. Him getting over 2.5 receptions. He did get that. Terry McLaurin went over 51.5 receiving yards, so he did smash that pretty early in the game on those picks on Prize Picks. Sam did get lucky on the first drive. Number 26, Terrell Edmonds, he dropped an interception in the end zone. B-Rob fumbled, and then Terry and Sadiq Charles, they picked up the fumble. So they have that presence of mind and that wherewithal to get onto the football. The illegal tush push actually did get flagged on 4th and 1. It was about darn time. It was offsides on the offense. They should have called it on Landon Dixon at the end of the game as well. Ben St. Juice had a good stop on Jalen Hurts. I talked about that in open space. Hurts did miss Devontae Smith on 3rd down. We got the ball back. Sam Howell missed Terry downfield on the 20, but number 20 was tugging on his jersey. I can't remember who that is. I can't remember whether it's Reed Blankenship or one of their safeties. I can't remember who number 28 is for the Eagles. Sam Howell had a nice pass to De'Ami Brown for 35 yards on 3rd down. James Bradbury pass interference, and then I think we eventually scored on that play. Antonio Gibson had a drop toss, so basically that's like another fumble. I just don't trust the guy at all. He had a couple good runs this game though. He had a couple good runs. We just don't have a lot of options for a speedy running back. So Antonio Gibson, he's just they're just not gonna bench him. They're just not. Sam Howell checked it down to Jahan Dotson. Then we got a field goal. Devontae Smith had that was a tough catch on Emmanuel Forbes. That was a tough catch because the ball like bobbled a little bit, and then the ball landed right on Devontae Smith's arm. He caught that pass. It was like a 30-something yard pass to set him up in field goal range before the half. That was a heck of a catch by Devontae Smith. Did a good job holding to a field goal there. A.J. Brown got Forbes again. It was a fake bubble screen. Then they threw the ball to A.J. Brown for a touchdown. Forbes just had a rough day. This is where you go back to the drawing board. You watch film, you get better. You know, Emmanuel Forbes talks a lot of trash. I saw him smiling and laughing a lot. You know, so as a corner, you got to have a short memory. So I get the trash talking and whatnot, but you got to pick your battles sometimes. You got to pick your battles. And A.J. Brown got the best of him today. He did not have a good day at all today. It was by far his worst game so far in his young rookie career. I thought Jalen Hurts fumbled on that one play. Chase Young and Deron Payne got to Jalen Hurts. They hit his arm, and they didn't call a fumble there. So that's some home cooking there for sure. I thought that was a fumble. Darius Slay called for the pass interference. I talked about that. Jahan Dotson had a bad drop. I already talked about that. Jamin Davis had a holding penalty on DeAndre Swift. That was a holding. Forbes got beat again. Talked about that. Logan Thomas, the tush push. So we did run a tush push with Logan Thomas. They did get the first down. Then they ran it again, and it didn't work, and we got a penalty. I think we ended up getting it on 3rd and 6, but I didn't like Bieniemy going back to that play. Switch it up. You got B-Rob. You got guys that can run for a first down. Quarterback sneak, something else. I thought that was just too predictable to run a tush push with Logan Thomas again. Fletcher cooked Sam Cosmi on a 3rd down play. He just slapped his hand down, got to the quarterback. Jahan Dotson got injured. The 3rd quarter was big, man. It was big. Like I said, that's how it felt like when we were up with Case Keenum and Terry McLaurin 17-0, and then they came out in the 3rd quarter. They made adjustments and beat us in that 3rd quarter. The 3rd quarter, they beat us 11-0. They beat us 11-0, and their offensive quarter had some bad play calling. The 3rd and 11 in our red zone, they ran on 3rd and 11. That's when we forced the fumble. We just didn't pick it up. Cody Barton's got to be better, man. He's got to be better than that and just pick up the fumble instead of celebrating. Brian Roberts had a really nice run for a touchdown. That 9-yard run, that was a tough run by B-Rob. That was a tough run by him. I thought he played well today. I thought he played hard. Didn't have a big number day, 45 yards on the ground, but he ran hard today. He always runs hard against the Eagles. James Smith-Williams, I already talked about him missing the tackle on Jalen Hurts. Jameson Crowder with a fake fair catch. Sam Howell, 21-yard run on 3rd down. That was a great play by him. And Sam Howell, a great pass to Byron Pringle on 3rd down. That was a big catch by Byron Pringle. That was a big catch. And then the catch that was ruled incomplete. And they did call the intentional grounding on Jalen Hurts. That was an intentional grounding where it was an overtime. No, I think that was in the 4th quarter. That might have been an overtime where he just threw it behind everybody. That wasn't intentional grounding. At first they didn't want to call it, but they had no choice but to call it. They didn't want to call it at first. It took them like 10 seconds to finally throw a flag on that intentional grounding, and they still ended up. That wasn't overtime. That wasn't overtime. But all in all, man, they play hard. The defense has to play better, man. Like, they have to play better because the Denver game, they weren't good in the first half. The Bills game, they were okay, but they kind of got away with stuff because the offense was so bad. I didn't blame the defense, but today the defense was a glaring weakness because the offense showed up today. That's why the defense was such a glaring weakness, because the offense played a lot better. So you couldn't blame the offense at all, and the defense just gave a big play after big play after big play, playing soft zone, playing guys over the middle. Olamide Zacchaeus wide open over the middle on 3rd down. So. And that's typical Jack Del Rio football. He's going to play soft. He's going to leave the middle of the field wide open. He'll play one-on-one with terrible mismatches. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to drop back Chase Young in coverage. And that's what Jack Del Rio's going to do. Every year he does that. It's the same thing. I was trying to look at that last pass, that last play. De'Ami Brown went out of bounds for 16 yards. So that was a good play by De'Ami Brown. I thought De'Ami Brown played pretty well. I will do studs and duds tomorrow. I will do that and then talk about when the PFF grades come out. I'm just deflated after this loss, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. We play the Bears next week, and then we play the Atlanta Falcons. And I think by the time we play the Atlanta Falcons, Taylor Heineke will be the quarterback. He will be the quarterback by then. You got Mac Hollins yelling at Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder looking shell-shocked out there. I think Heineke would probably give them a better chance to win. At this point, I think they might just bench Desmond Ridder by the time they play us in 2 weeks in Atlanta. And then Justin Fields, the Bears look good today. They did. So I can't just automatically say we're going to win that game. I have us winning that game. I'm just going to give it away already. I have us beating the Bears. But it's another running quarterback. It's a mobile quarterback. We know we struggle against mobile quarterbacks. This is a Jack Del Rio game. I don't have any problems with the offense. I think the offense is going to be fine against the Bears. But against the Bears, the X factor really is going to be the defense is stopping Justin Fields. Justin Fields looked darn good today. He threw a pick at the end of the game, but this is a game that we should win. We should beat the Bears. We should beat the Bears Thursday night at home. This is a game we got to win. And I hate to say must-win games, but this is a must-win game. It's a must-win game. You can't lose to the Bears at home. You can't be 2-3 is not terrible, but you can't lose to the Bears at home. You just can't. That's inexcusable to lose to the Bears at home. It's inexcusable. I do think the next 2 games are very, very winnable. I think we could definitely be 4-2. I'm looking a little too far ahead in the schedule, but you play the Giants after that, you can fool around and really be and seriously be 5-2. In 3 weeks, we could seriously be 5-2, and be in a good space. And guess what? After that, you play the Eagles again at home at 1:00. And they might fool around and flex that game to 4:15. I don't know if they flex games in October, but if we're 5-2 at that point and play the Eagles again at home, and we can get our revenge, they possibly could flex it to 4:00. But I don't think they flex games in October at that point. But and I'm gonna do I might actually go to that game. I'll see about that. But yeah, all in all, they played hard, but Del Rio, he dropped the ball. He fumbled it today. So the blame to me is on Del Rio. It's on Del Rio not making adjustments. I think that's where we lost the ball game. It was a very winnable game. Should have won the game. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Should have won the game. And I'm not going to blame the rest because the rest did help us out. They did. They helped us out a couple times. They did. So I'm not going to blame them. And once again, I would not have gone for it. I would not have gone for it on 4-2. And you guys know I disagree with Ron Rivera every single day of the week. I disagree with Ron. Every day of the week I disagree with Ron Rivera. So I had no problems with him just being conservative and going for one and just tying it up. So this one hurts, gut punch, but you got to pick your head up. You got to pick your head up, keep your head high. No more victories, but the Bears, you got to take it to the Bears. You got to take it to the Bears, man. You know, you got to take what Mystical say about the Bears. Help the bear. You see a bear in the woods. Help the bear. That's the way I'm looking at the Bears. That's the way I'm looking at the Bears next week. So, all right, you guys, man. Thank you for rocking with me today. Tough loss. Once again, this one hurts, but you got 2 very winnable games in the next 3 weeks. You have 3 very winnable games in the next 3 weeks. So we got to take care of business. All right, you guys. Hail to Commanders. Peace.